What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Average Boston Fans podcast. Are we a podcast?
I guess so.
A YouTube series?
I don't even know. Video.
Podcast, video, recording, whatever. It is I, your host, Breezy. Martin is the name, but I go by Breezy. And with me is my awesome, cool, collective, Boston fan-loving Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, Revolution, Boston College, UMass. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you're into college like that. But my awesome sister, Marley. I'm going to have to get used to calling you Marley.
Yeah.
It sounds weird coming out of my mouth.
It sounds weird. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I just have to stick to Joenah.
Stick with Joenah? All right. Yeah. JoJo. Big Joe. Yeah, maybe Joenah.
Yeah.
Joenah Marley.
Okay, that's my professional
name. I'll try to do it. It's her professional name, you know? Professional name. She in that business out there. Professional name. Well, the reason why we wanted to start this podcast, let's just call it a podcast.
Yeah, it might as well be.
Might as well be. Everyone's doing one these days, and they're talking about anything and everything. But we wanted to focus on our love of Boston sports. This past summer, we was able to go back home.
Yes.
Home for me.
It's home for me too. It's home for me too.
I think there's a duration limit.
It's home for me too.
Okay, fine.
I was born there.
Born there. Okay, fine. You was born there.
Thank you.
But we was able to go back home and just kind of like embrace being in the city, and being in Texas, the DFW area. We're not going to focus in exactly where, because there's people's out there. But being able to just kind of go home and just kind of touch base with our Bostonian selves, see the city again. Yeah. Like it kind of motivated me. And I know you and I have talked about starting this for a long time, but it kind of motivated me to be like, man, this is the time to do it. I feel like in every aspect of Boston sports, something new was starting. Not so much Red Sox fee. We'll talk about them another time. But with the Patriots, new head coach, new quarterback, with the Celtics, we got our first championship in a long time since 2008. And so contracts are being signed. And, Jaylen Brown has been extended. Jason Tatum has been extended. We re-signed White, Holiday. A lot of our core group is back. So it feels like we're entering a new era of Boston sports. Yeah. So why not be there and be a part of this new era and talking about it? And so, like, what are your thoughts about everything about starting this and being on this journey?
I'm excited. Like you were saying, how we went to Boston. I think especially for me, now that I'm older and I didn't really remember Boston when we used to live there. So it was nice just to be in the city, be around people, finally being around people who actually like the same teams that I do. And it makes me really excited. There's the NBA season about to start. NFL season has been going for a few weeks. It's really exciting. We got a lot to talk about. Yeah. And a lot of new things to come. So we'll see.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into meat and potatoes. Potatoes and meat. Meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes.
What's that? Meat and potato things, and let's kind of dive in. So I know this is kind of new for you.
Yes, very new.
Just for that. The camera's not rolling. You can talk your talk, okay?
I get a little too hyped though.
Nah, get hyped. Get hyped. We might be calling out some people by name. Okay. She got a list of people.
I do.
Was it you? I think it was with you. No. You had a friend who was a Minnesota Viking. Yeah. So this has been going back since you were in high school. Like just Joenah would get into
I get into arguments with one of my friends, and whenever you get on my nerves, I'm like, no, here, talk to my friend. So now Martin is having to argue with him. I'm like, yes, Martin, go.
Just hyping each other up, just protecting our love.
Exactly.
Of our sports love, our love for the Patriots, our love for the Celtics. But before we get into this topic, since this is a pilot episode, what is your first... You could pick out of the 4 teams, what is your first kind of memory of falling in love with the team, falling in love? And if you want to go in specifics about the Patriots, the Celtics, the Red Sox, the Bruins, you can. But if there's just one that fans above all.
That's very funny because thinking about my first memory of any professional sports that I was like really dedicated was the year that we went undefeated, the Patriots. And I remember
undefeated in the regular season.
Because it's funny because I was arguing with my friends. Like I was really but at that time I was in third grade, for second or third grade, and I was talking to everybody about the Patriots, and I was on their case. And one of my friends was a Giants fan, and so I was like, "Oh, we're gonna show you how it's done because we already have Super Bowl championships and we're undefeated."
Yeah.
Just for us to lose, oh my gosh! I remember bawling my eyes out.
Oh, yeah.
Dad had to hold me because I was crying.
Yep.
And since then, I've been like hardcore on sports. So it's been like since third grade, I've been all about all of Boston sports. Which, thinking about it, that was after we had won for the Celtics, right?
Yeah, I think no. So Celtics had won summer of 2008. I believe that undefeated season was 2007.
Okay. So, that's perfect because the next year we then won the Celtics. I was like, you know what? These are my teams. I'm going to commit.
We're going to stick to it.
I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah.
People might question why since we're here in DFW and they're like, why aren't you Dallas fans? I'm like, why would I want to be?
Yeah.
That is the first like vivid memory I can think of any sports team that I was like fully dedicated into.
Yeah. For me, I think I remember that first Super Bowl. Well, I don't want to say first Super Bowl victory run because the Patriots had been to the Super Bowl before that, but I was too young to remember. But I remember, I forget whose house. I want to say we're probably at the Kaime's house and just watching the Tuck Rule game. I remember that, but then I also remember just that Super Bowl, that first one against the Rams. We were watching it in the basement of our house in Boston, or Brockton at the time. And I remember just that was the time where I like fully invested. We're a soccer family, right? With both parents being from Haiti. Soccer is our number one sport. And so like football wasn't something that we were taught growing up. Well, you so much so because of me. Yeah. But
there was still always like soccer.
Yeah, soccer, like, World Cup, all that stuff came first. And there was, and then there's still, for me at least, there's still that love. But I know that there was mom and dad weren't ever talking about the Patriots. Like they weren't Patriots fans growing up because NFL isn't something that was in Haiti, you know? And so for me, that was just kind of, I remember just spending the time to watch that game. And I was like, oh snap. Like this is something that I want to be a part of. And for us to win, I'm lucky because like, I didn't watch that season. Like I didn't know what was going on. I say that I know what was going on because friends would talk about it in school.
Yeah. But you weren't like as invested as you are now. Yeah, I wasn't
invested into it. And so like, and I was a little kid. And so it was just like, oh, our team won, like this is something that we have to, and then just kind of following out 2 years later, winning again, back-to-back championships. And then when we moved to Texas, dealing with Cowboys fans made me anchor down more into just loving my city of Boston, loving their sports team, and I'm not saying I'm an ambassador for the sports down here, but I feel amongst my friends, they know I'm the Pats guy, and so, I think that's where it just all comes down to, just that first Tom Brady Super Bowl dub. And like, just kind of like, this is where my story as a Pats fan began. And through that, because I was invested in the Patriots, I wanted to, get invested in the Celtics. I wanted to get invested with the Red Sox. And I need to do a better job with the Bruins. I'm going to be honest, but we're not big hockey fans, but I'm going to learn the game of hockey because I want to talk about our Boston sports through and through.
See, it's funny you say that because I'm like the opposite with you. Like, I know a little bit more about the Bruins. Maybe not the game of hockey. Yeah. I only watch hockey during the Olympics or the playoffs. But I at least follow the Bruins a little bit more than I do the Red Sox.
Yeah, because you were keeping me updated. I'd be like, did the Bruins play? How they're doing after season? You're like, oh, this and this happened.
Yeah, I have my notifications ready for when they play. I know the score.
Come on now.
So I'm a little bit more on top of the Bruins than I am on the Red Sox.
So what we're hearing here is that Joenah's going to be teaching me a lot of hockey, and I will be teaching her a lot of baseball. So I feel like I know a little more about baseball.
Yeah, definitely you know a lot more about baseball than I do. But I will say I don't know that much about hockey.
You know more than me.
They were like, oh, they got a wrist shot.
Yeah,
I was like, sure.
Don't know what that means. When they said icing, I was like, is somebody eating cake?
Right. Don't know what it means. I know it's a shot, and I know he made it. That's all I care about. There's a score at the end of the day.
Yeah. But, so, all right. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. So, first topic, how are you feeling? How do you feel about the state of the Patriots right now?
No, that's a good question because, you know, we have a new head coach.
Right.
We have a new quarterback. We have a whole new system. And not only do we have a new quarterback, but last game was the first time that Drake May started. So getting to see his offense, like everyone should have known that there's going to be some bumps. There's going to be some time to adjust. But clearly the first half, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Or maybe really the first quarter.
Yeah.
Because especially after that first quarter, you can kind of see them starting to get a little bit of momentum, which for his first start, he did great.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. He did great for his first start with a horrible O-line. And we got 3 touchdowns. I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know, man. What would you want more than that?
That was already
3 touchdowns.
The funny thing was that was more than what Jacoby had done.
Exactly.
And I love Jacoby.
Me too.
I'm a big Jacoby fan, and I feel sad that it just didn't work out. But with the skill set that he has compared to Drake's, we knew Drake was being shepherded into the starting role, but it's just I kind of wish that, Jacoby had a little more time and he wasn't having to deal with all those hits. But I think that loss against the Dolphins, how ugly of a loss that was. Kind of bring forward Drake forward. But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. No, I was just thinking the team isn't as bad as I thought. One, we already got 1 win. I'm satisfied. We can end the season right now. I'm satisfied. We got 1 win.
Come on.
But it's hard because, all my life, basically, I've had Tom Brady as our quarterback. I've been supporting a team that's been good for 21 years.
Yeah.
So now I got to understand, which I feel like I do better than most people, that we're not going to be that good.
Yeah.
It's the rebuild period.
Yeah.
We're getting into the system of Rod Mayo, and we're starting a new system with Drake May. We thought it would have worked with Mac Jones. It didn't really work out.
We don't speak that name, though.
Yeah.
Who?
Him.
Yeah. Not even him. That. Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think this season is just a season for us just to sit and watch.
Yeah.
You can't really judge anything about this season because it's just a time for people to get used to each other. You know how hard it is for first-time quarterbacks to have a great season?
Exactly.
No one should be judging. And I feel like the hard part of being this NFL, whatever it is right now, is that everyone always expects you to come out of draft day being the greatest and having an amazing season. Rarely do teams have a new quarterback and all of a sudden they take off running.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes didn't take off running.
He sat and watched for a couple of years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tom Brady didn't take off running. I mean,
he sat for a year and then Drew got hurt.
Yeah, so it's you can't expect all these people that you Peyton Manning.
His rookie season was not good.
Aaron Rodgers, they all had either time of sitting for a year and watching and understanding the NFL, or they didn't have a good rookie season.
Yeah.
So you can't expect to put a whole new quarterback into an already made system or to a system that they're building for them and just have a great season. Yeah. So I think this season is just a time just to sit, watch, relax.
Yeah.
Don't let your emotions get the best of you because they're learning.
Yeah.
What else do you want from them to do?
I think as a fan, as fans, we need to be patient.
Yeah.
We have to wait I want to say wait. And you said there's nothing that we should judge. I think there are things that we can judge. Right. We want to see progress from week to week. Okay, like I don't want us to be stuck doing the same thing. So like what really has been bothering me is how we started the first 2 games of the season, like we weren't being penalized as much. Right. And so there was like this sense of focus. So I've been watching a lot of Gerard Mayo's press conference, and he talks about it. He said this. He's like, I don't know what's going on, that there's just a focus that's not there on game days right now. He said for the first 3 weeks, we weren't the number 1 penalized team. It hasn't started until these past 2 weeks. So it's up to him to coach and keep the team focused on game day. So there's not those silly mistakes. It's really tough, especially for a rookie quarterback in this last game. First play of his drive, there's a false start. Yeah. So it's 1st and 15. And that's not, and we're not going to talk about the first 3 play calls. But but like I said, I feel good, especially after this past week. I feel like the offense is finally alive for the first time all year. I'm going to just drop some stats. Drake May was 20 for 33 passing for 243 passing yards, 35 yards rushing, and that was on 5 attempts, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 1 lost fumble. But that comes with the game. Pop Douglas cooking 9 targets, but he caught 6 of those 9 targets for 92 yards. I truly felt like our offense was alive. Our defense, I think they're much better than what they've shown. Yes, losing, having 40-something points dropped on you is tough, but the offense didn't really put them in great positions. Houston had a lot of short fields and was able to score easily off that. But also, we're dealing with a lot of injuries. Bentley's out. Who else is out? Not Duggar. Duggar came back. But we were dealing with some injuries. Yeah. I'm blanking on the names right now.
Especially in our O-line. That's the big thing, is that last game was the sixth week of NFL, but also the 6th different lineup we had for O-line. Yeah. So, we can't really expect them to be good, but I'm like, we need something from that O-line. Even though it's not the same people every week or it's a different rotation, we still need, them to still be producing as if they start every week. Yeah. Because we need to protect our quarterback. Yeah,
yeah. We lost Vidarian Lowe with the ankle injury this past game. Ramondre was out. Yes. Marcus Jones was questionable. Marco Wilson. There was another Jonathan Jones. Yes, Jonathan Jones. He's been out. And then we have the whole situation with Bill Pepper. Do you know about that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
We'll get into that in another episode. But we're dealing with injuries on defense, so we're not. I didn't realize how much we needed Bentley to be that quarterback on defense. He's been our Dante Hightower. Yeah. He's been our Teddy Bruschi. And so with him being out, there's been some lack of communications, but I still believe in our defense. And the foundation that Bill Belichick laid for Gerard Mayo in this defensive squad that we have. Christian Gonzalez, though he got scored on, I was a little upset.
I was upset, but he's doing the best he can.
Yes, it's good to see him back.
I'm so happy to see him back.
Yes, I know. First off, she might try to get married to the kid.
Okay, no. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think there's just, as fans, we need to be patient. Yeah. We need to just kind of pump the brakes and and I said this in my first video, and the video I posted last week, I think it was before his start. There's already fans I've seen it on Twitter or X and some other social media stuff. Oh, fire Mayo. He doesn't know what he's doing. Y'all, this is his first season. We gotta give him time to let his philosophy and let the discipline that he needs to instill in these guys to actually take form and take shape. Bill Belichick's first year as a New England head coach was not perfect, right? But it took time. And over the span of 20-something years, we got the Patriot way, right? Yeah. And so as we enter this new chapter, the Patriot way is still there, but it just has a new face. Mm-hmm. It's going to look a little more different. And you got to give this coaching staff some time. You got to now that Drake May is in, I feel like that opens up a lot more of the playbook for AVP, Alex Van Pelt, to have better play calls, to open up and be a little more diverse and not be so predictable. I've been with Jacoby under the helm, like we were very predictable. You knew it was a run. So many times we're on a running play, the D lineman was already in the backfield because they knew it was a run. Yeah. Like, it was so annoying. But now with Drake May, there's some salt. There's some salt on the Patriots right now. Yeah. You talked about it a little bit. How are you feeling about Gerard Mayo right now?
I feel like he's doing the best that he can with what he has right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you can't. And this is for the whole, I know we're talking about Boston, but it's for all of NFL. Like, they're firing coaches too fast.
Oh, yeah.
Too fast. Oh, yeah. And for stuff that's not even their fault. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like the Jets, but the Jets, the whole situation. Because that makes me mad for him.
From top to bottom. And first off, Aaron, we ain't gonna talk about
We're gonna talk about it later.
Because for me at least, there's a hatred for the Jets.
Oh, yes.
And now that Aaron Rodgers is there, there's an even bigger hatred for the Jets.
I was just talking about that. I said, I like Miami sometimes. I could see them doing okay. Like, they're okay.
Yeah.
Same with the Bills. I don't hate them all the time, but the Jets, I'm always praying for their downfall.
Yes.
There's just something about it. I can't do it. But that firing got me mad.
Yeah.
It's not even his fault.
I don't think it's Robert Saleh's fault. There's a lot of things, especially with Aaron Rodgers as well, that annoys me. But the Jets organization in itself, I always tell people, do you think the Jets are going to be good? I'm like, the Jets will be the Jets. The Jets will jet something up and be the Jets. And so it's for me, I feel like the Jets are the Cowboys of our division.
Oh, definitely.
Because like Stephen A says, the Cowboys are always they're going to do something to hurt themselves. And I feel like that's what the Jets do. But that's beside the point.
But going along with that is that I think he's doing good for I didn't have any expectations when he was hired for the season. I was like, you know what? We need to take the season as a learning lesson. This is the first time being a head coach.
Yeah.
You can't expect someone to be their first time and to already be stealing something. And you can't expect them to be Bill Belichick after 10 years with the Patriots.
And Bill Belichick wasn't Bill Belichick when he first started off. You look at his season with the Browns, and he had some few losing seasons. I think he only had one winning season with the Browns when he was with the Browns. So you
just can't expect a coach. Like, I think the only head coach, at least of recent times that I can think of, is Miami.
Yeah, McDaniels.
Yeah, McDaniels, where he had a pretty decent season his first time there, but
when you think of the squad that he inherited.
That's what the next point was. He got a great squad with a great quarterback. So I think now that Drake May is starting, I think this is where we need to actually see and look at his coaching skills and his coaching scheme that he's going to have for the game, because we're not a one-trick pony. We're no longer just pass and punt.
Yeah.
Or not pass, but run and punt. So now we can actually do a little bit more, and Drake May can run.
Yeah.
We can do a lot more. So I think now it's when you need to start, which I think it kind of showed how well they worked together because of last game. Although we lost by 20-something points, but we still got that 20-something the highest scoring game we ever had for this season. So it shows great potential. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got one win.
Yeah, especially, and I'm not one to ever. One thing for those who are going to watch this, you're never going to hear me say that I guarantee a win. Oh, because the last time I said we guaranteed a win was we lost to the Giants, and it was that undefeated season. And from that moment on, I've never guaranteed a win.
Right.
But with a game coming up against the Jaguars, who are struggling. Trevor Lawrence hasn't looked himself and looked like himself, like the Trevor Lawrence that everyone knows him to be as the college player in his first few seasons in the NFL. And that Jaguar squad just not saying they're not talented, but they just don't look like what they're supposed to look like. I think this is a good opportunity, especially out being in London, for this to be Drake May's second game. He got not rust, but he got the nerves out playing against a great team, against the Houston Texans defense, who were, I mean, like, if you go look at the if you were to compare Josh Allen's stats against the Houston Texans versus Drake May had a better day throwing the ball than Josh Allen did. And also other quarterbacks that the Texans played. But I think having this to be to be game 2 against the Jaguars, I think this is going to be good. He's able to kind of take a deep breath. Their defense isn't as scary as the Texans. So he'll have time to sit in the pocket. He'll have time to make one read, second read, third read, check downs. And I'm excited to see that. I think kind of like in the next thing. So like I want us to get past this season, right? Say for instance, we don't win another game for the rest of the season. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. Well, and I guess I'll kind of speak on this first, and I would love to hear your thoughts. What I think we should do, if we have a very high draft pick, right? I think we need to trade down so that we can trade down to get either draft a very good lineman, because there's going to be other teams who are looking to get the Travis Hunters of the world. I don't know, you don't know like college players well yet, but my goal is to kind of like show you like, all right, this is because we're not doing this in our fantasy team, but I want us to, as we get further along, to do where we build our own teams by inviting rookies in and everything. But like trying to like something that I'm kind of diving into, because I wasn't really when Bill Belichick was general manager, I never really focused on like the incoming rookies and all like the draft classes and stuff like that. But now when Elliott Wolf took over and Jerome Mayo was hired, like I was like, man, I feel like I need I want to see if I can figure out if they're gonna pick the people I would pick, just kind of test my brain, see if I'm that good and if I can do their jobs. And because you gotta have a lot of people on the internet who'll be like, oh, you need to get this guy, go train, she get these people, and then you'll be great, right? I think we need to invest in our offensive line. If we want Drake May to stay healthy and not be battered and broken, because he who shall not be named did not inherit a good offensive line. Well, other than his first season, our line was good. But after that, we never addressed the elephant in the room, which was a faulty offensive line. And part of the reason why Jacoby isn't in the game is because we don't have an offensive line that's good enough to. And like you said, this is that was a 6-week with a different rotation of guys. And next week is going to be a different rotation because a couple people got hurt, right? And so I would love to see some stability. I would love to see for us to just target in free agency and also in the draft and develop great linemen, because I truly believe our defense is fine with Barmore, with Keon White, who we can get into in a couple of episodes. We can who else? Christian Gonzalez in the secondary, Duggar. Like, I feel defensively we're good. I'm not saying don't go draft it, don't go target some free agents who play on the defensive side. But like a lot of people are going to talk, we need wide receivers, we need this. I think this past Sunday showed that our receivers can do something. Douglas he could be big in this league. Boutte, he can be big. People talk about, we get no separations. At the end of the first half, homeboy got separation.
He was open.
And like all we need is to have the time for the quarterback to be able to throw the ball. And so I think if we invest in an O-line, I think next season could be significantly better. Because one, we'd be putting our defense in better positions. So they're not just defending a short field. We'll be putting our special teams. They're not tired and exhausted because they're on the field all the time. Where our special teams are able to make bigger strides because they're not punting on deep into our own end zone, right? And so what are your thoughts about that? Like if we don't win another game this season, like what do you believe, or because I'm not saying like this is what you need to think, because I think this, like what are your thoughts?
I agree. Like that's was my first thoughts, that we need O-line. Like I don't care who else we draft, but O-line should be our top priority, because one, kind of like you mentioned before, is that we never really paid attention to the draft class when Belichick was there because, one, we never really drafted good, but our best players weren't players that were in the first round.
They're undrafted. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, Julian Edelman was 7th round. Like, we never really had, the only like all-star receiver we had was Randy Moss.
And he wasn't even someone we drafted.
Exactly.
We traded?
Yeah, we traded for him.
Yeah, we traded for him, yeah.
And so it's like,
I didn't win a Super Bowl with that.
Exactly. That's so sad.
That bothers me so much. Like, it's crazy. But go ahead.
But we definitely need, because even in like the second half when he was cooking and scoring and we were going down the field, you saw he could sit in the pocket and throw because they weren't rushing so many people since they realized Drake May is actually going to throw the ball. Yeah. And so whenever he had time, that's when we made the plays down the field. Yeah. So it's not saying that our receivers have to be some all-star that's going to automatically be in the Hall of Fame after one season. Like, no, we can build up receivers. We've done that for years. Yeah. We don't need to draft number one, the first receiver on the list, because we have good receivers. They just need time to separate. Yeah. And how do we get the time? It's from the O-line. So I agree with you 100%. And I think it's so easy for people to be like, oh, we need a quarterback. Oh, we need a receiving core. Oh, we need this. We need that. We need better defense. No, I think it all stems from the O-line. We need to look at them first. And it's always weird because people are so quick to judge when teams draft someone on the offensive line. Like, but it's like, we don't need the best person. You need someone that will fit into who you already have. Because one person is not going to change the game. Yeah. You need something that will fit into your situation.
Yeah. The only way that a person can change the game for a team is if they're already a solid team from the beginning, right? So you think of those Patriots teams, they add a Randy Moss and Tom Brady is excelling beyond what others imagined at that point. Like, no one viewed Tom Brady as Tom Brady until he had Randy Moss that he was throwing deep to all the time. Yeah. Right? You think of a Travis Kelce for a Patrick Mahomes, or even a Tyreek Hill for Tua, right? Yes. A player who can come to a team that's already good and take them to that next level.
Yeah. It's like the same when Tom Brady went to the Bucs. Like, yes, everyone was talking about how the Bucs weren't that good before he got there, but if you look at the receiving core, they were a pretty good team that put Tom Brady in. They won a Super Bowl. They wasn't like they were going to the Jags.
Apparently, Jameis Winston, he was the quarterback before Tom Brady was there. He got LASIK surgery after. So that season, he threw for 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. And then the reports came out that he got LASIK. Homo was playing blind. No wonder. Like, could you imagine if he could have seen? Oh my goodness! Like, that is crazy. It's crazy work. But yeah, you're right. The good teams, the teams that are great because on each part of the game, offense, defense, special teams, they have core players who make their team good. And I'm not even going to say great, because I'm going to say great for those elite teams. Right, right now, like we look across the league and you look at the Chiefs, they're undefeated, yes. But
they're not playing. They're not
playing well. Like Defensively, they're playing great and elite.
But offensively, playing like
Mahomes isn't cooking like he's like he usually cooks.
They're not playing. They're not playing like they're supposed to be.
Exactly, like we expect them to be, right? But then you look at the Ravens, who added Derrick Henry, and yes, they started off 0-2, but now they're 4-2. Did they start off?
Yeah, I believe they did.
They started off 0-2, but now they're 4-2, and like cooking. And
they're gonna be scary.
I'm already scared. Oh my goodness. And like, I'm the type of person, like, as much as I love my Patriots, I hope that we win every year. I would love to see Lamar Jackson win the Super Bowl. I would love, because he got the 2 MVPs already. Yeah. Let's get this man a ring. If he wants to wear the red, white, and blue, come on over. Now I'm like, Drake May all the way, baby. Drake May all the way, baby. That's gonna be my new tagline. Oh, Drake May all the way, baby.
Oh, good.
Copyright. Trademark pending. But But you think about it, like for teams to be great, you have to build. And I know we're in we've been in a rebuilding phase. I would even put it this way. I feel like we're in a new rebuilding phase.
Yes.
Because we were rebuilding with Belichick after Brady left. Mm-hmm. And that didn't go well. And that resulted with, we had Cam, we had Mac. And all those years we had elite defense, but our quarterback production was not good. Right. And so now we're at a place, and also coaching, Belichick hiring Matt Patricia and the other dude. I'm still upset about that. Yeah. But we don't talk about those past few years. Now with a new era, I feel like we're at a clean slate, and this season is a season to lay a foundation. Yep. Everyone knows if the foundation of the house isn't laid correctly, the house will fall apart. It will not stand strong. It will not stand firm. And so I think this year, Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo, and his coaching staff, the Pratt family, I think they're trying to lay a foundation for the years to come. And I think this past Sunday, we got to see just a small glimpse of what our team can be. Yeah. And that's at its worst. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm excited to see where we go moving forward. I'm excited to see what Drake May and what kind of a player and leader that he steps up to be, and how we build around him. Exactly. We got young receivers. We haven't even seen Baker on the field yet. And I've been hearing there's some off the field, just some practice issues that's been happening with him. But I'm hearing this I get inside. But I've been reading a lot of articles and listening to a lot of Patriot radio, and don't get me started on Patriot radio. There's a Patriot radio guy that I cannot stand. But I won't. That's beside the point. Well, enough with football. Okay. We're done. All right. We are done with football for this episode. We get to talk about our reigning, defending NBA champion, the Boston Mean Green Machine Celtics. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, our man. What a season. What an absolute amazing, goodness. Even though people were doubting us, they can't keep this going. Exactly. They're going to start losing. Come playoff time, they tend to fold. I don't want to hear it no more. Nope. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown are your NBA champions. Our Celtics are NBA champions. How do you feel about that? It's unreal. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for it for years. I knew they had it in them. They just needed to go out there and show it. Yeah. I'm so excited. I've been on cloud 9. You've been at cloud 18. Come on. Exactly. Since June. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I've been rubbing in everybody's faces. Yes. I am so excited. As we should. Man, you think about the journey, we literally got to see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum grow before our eyes to the champions that they are. And you think about 2 years ago when we lost to Golden State. Oh, man, my heart was hurting. It was hurting. I really wanted to win. I really wanted to win. I really did. I feel like we needed to lose. Yes. For them to learn. For them to, one, understand what being in the championship. Yeah, in the finals. What it feels like. Yeah. But two, also to know what it's like to be there and just barely miss it. Yeah. Because we won 2 games. We were on track we could have won that series. And Steph woke up and he said, not this time. Exactly. This is my time. But and for it to be a loss to the Golden State Warriors, I'm okay with it. Yeah. If we had lost to the Dallas Mavericks while living in DFW, could you imagine? No. Could you imagine what we would have to deal with when we step outside? I wouldn't even step outside. I'm staying at home. If the Mavericks were playing any other team, I'm pulling for the Mavericks, right? Yeah. But they're playing our. Exactly. Exactly. Boston Celtics, baby. Come on, man. But it was a great season.
It was
from top to finish. Last year we added Porzingis. We added Drew Holiday.
I still don't know how we got Drew Holiday.
Hey, no, I know how. Thank you, Bucks.
Thank you, Bucks.
Thank you so much. Okay. They were so dumb for that. Like, they literally, I saw some people trolling, the Celtics need to thank Giannis and the Bucks for giving them a championship. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Upon him.
We will take it.
But, we added Drew, we added Porzingis as core members of the team, and it just kind of flourished to what it was. We saw development of PP, Pritchard, Peyton Pritchard. And
Sam Hauser.
Sam Hauser as well. Hauser. He just got married.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Sam Hauser?
Did he just get married or he just had a baby? He just had a baby.
Okay, because I was like, Pritchard just got married, but not Sam Hauser.
Yeah, I think I had it flipped.
Okay.
I think Hauser just had a baby.
Yes, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I know the dad life. If you need any tips, let me know.
You need a babysitter? Let me know.
Oh, yeah. She does that. We so dumb. Where were we? Yeah, we got to see them develop. Al Horford got a ring.
Oh my goodness, Al Horford!
Praying for him to get a ring.
And I used to hate it so much. At the start of every round, they would always, for years now, they'd be like, "There's how many games he hasn't played and hasn't won a championship."
Yeah. Oh, old man Al. He's still playing and you're not.
Exactly. They're like, he's on this. He's the second in the most games played without a ring. Can't say it no more. He has a ring.
He got a ring, baby.
He has a ring.
He got a ring, baby. Come on.
I'm so happy.
I'm so excited. I think for me, this was probably, I remember us winning in 2008. But I didn't get a chance to watch the final series because I was at youth camp. And so I got to hear that we won. And then when I got home, I was able to watch highlights on YouTube and stuff like that. But that was with the big three: Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen. But to be able to be invested all year, I think this was the first time where first time in a long time where I was able and I had the opportunity to not even just watch every game, but to watch a high majority of the games and to see the team develop and us just dominate the league from start to finish was really cool. And then when the postseason started, to see how the media would treat us. One, they barely talked about us.
Oh, that made me so mad.
Then they gave us all the excuses in the world.
Exactly.
So-and-so's hurt. This. This. I'm like,
next round they're going to lose.
Yeah. But we'll get into that. But what's the question I want to ask you? Let me backtrack and let me just kind of focus on Jalen and Jason. They're champions. We enter a summer where we're going to the Olympics. Jalen's left off the team, right? We get to the Olympics. Tatum is benched twice and does not play 2 full games, right? And even with the Celtics winning a championship, there are still people out there who are saying that they're not. It's kind of an asterisk because everybody they played against was hurt. As a fan, how do you feel about
that? Makes me really mad. Not even just as a Celtics fan, but as an NBA fan in general. So you're saying only certain teams qualifies as champions because of what the team they face look like? Yeah. Because last I heard, you win a champion, you're a champion no matter what.
Talk your talk.
No matter what happens.
No matter what.
Because part of playing as a professional athlete is your health. Yeah. So how's that our fault that they're hurt? Yeah. We did
it's not like we purposely went and took their legs and ankles. And, no, that's...
And we hurt ourselves. Yeah. Got hurt. Everyone has gotten hurt. Yeah. Just because...
a lot of people thought once Porzingis got hurt that we wasn't going to do anything.
Exactly. And that made me so mad because I was like, And it's kind of the same with like when the Lakers won.
Yeah.
I don't really care for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Don't like the Lakers. But I still give them their props.
Yeah.
They did win in 2020. Yeah, it was a shorter season, but your team could have won.
Well, it wasn't even that was a shorter season. It
the
was,
bubble.
You did deal with the bubble. The argument with a lot of people have is that like LeBron wasn't 100% healthy. If like the season continued as normal, like LeBron wouldn't have been what he was. And so you had almost 2 months, 3 months of break, and then you start back up. And so they're just like, oh, you allow them to get 100%. So how's that fair? But I understand. Yeah, but they're still champs. They're still champs.
Like no one's going to discredit LeBron James on winning a championship. No one else is going to. But like, I feel like for Celtics, not only like this goes with the disrespect that they've always been having for the Celtics. Not only did Tatum, Brown, all of them win their first ring, but they talked about it until the parade happened, and all of a sudden it didn't matter anymore.
Oh, I mean,
if it was any other team, they would be talking about it forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's not just media, it's people in general. People will be posting videos online. It's like, no one ever give us the respect and the flowers. And now that we showed you that we can do it, you're still not respecting us? I'm confused. It's one thing and another. If it's not us winning, it's, Tatum didn't get MVP. Okay, but Brown got MVP.
Right.
They both deserve MVP. Just because it's not Tatum doesn't make it any less of a championship win for Tatum.
Yeah.
Like people just something good happens to the Celtics and they're so quick. Hey, no, this is what's supposed to happen. Oh, it's not a real championship because everyone was injured.
Yeah.
So no.
I think it's dumb. I mean, it's part of playing professional sports, like you said, is the injuries that happen throughout the season and even in the postseason. And it's how you overcome and dominate. Yeah. Right. And I think the way the Celtics did it from the beginning of last season all the way to the game 5 of the NBA Finals, like we dominated. You know, each series it was 4-1, 4-1, 4-0, and then we won 4-1. You know, like we showed and we just said, hey, we big dogs here, right? We've been here before. We're doing this again. And what I'm super encouraged about is how Brad Stevens is bringing everyone back. Yeah. And just kind of like, hey, let's run this back. Yeah. And so, what are some of your expectations for this coming season?
Basically to do it all over again. I don't know what else to expect. Like we have everybody back. Porzingis won't come back till like Christmas time, or Thanksgiving. I don't remember exactly, but we still have everyone. We still won like 24 out of like 5 games. Yeah, yeah. That he wasn't playing, so we still have momentum. Yeah, and so I'm ready for another ring at the end of the season.
Come on.
Like I don't know, and I feel like with the disrespect that they gave to Tatum and Brown, that's fine. Because watching this preseason game, I get it, it's preseason, but they're looking good.
They look good.
They're looking good.
Do you know the record last year for their preseason?
What was
4-1. Went 4-1 this year. Hey, you might get it. You might get it. Hey, I'm not one to guarantee.
No
I'm
guarantee.
not one to guarantee.
But it's looking good.
It's looking good.
So as long as no major injury happens, which I pray nothing. You have wood in front of you.
Well, I didn't want to knock it.
But praying nothing bad happens. I don't see who else in the NBA can stop it. Yeah.
You know, now that everyone is gearing their teams to beat us by trying to play like us.
Yep. But you can't.
You can't.
You can't.
We us.
One, we have a certain skill